You know, the words we choose, they're kind of like the colors we use to describe our world. But if you find yourself using the same few shades over and over, you're really missing out on a masterpiece. So today, we're going to upgrade our palette and learn how to paint with the full spectrum of language. I mean, think about it for a second. When you're describing your day or a new movie or a big project at work, are you painting a really vivid picture? Or are you maybe giving more of a low-resolution sketch? It's so easy to fall back on the same few words, and that can leave our descriptions a little, well, blurry. So let's diagnose this common habit. It usually comes down to two main things. One, we rely on super vague words like good or nice. And two, we lean on weak little intensifiers, you know the ones, very and really, to do all the heavy lifting. Do you see the pattern here? Adding very is basically like admitting the next word isn't strong enough on its own. But when you swap very angry for something like furious or enraged, you're not just being more precise, you're being so much more impactful. It's the difference between just telling someone what you felt and actually making them feel it right there with you. And this is not just some creative writing exercise. In professional and academic worlds, precision is currency. As this quote from IELTS Advantage points out, vague words can suggest a lack of clarity in your thinking. But choosing a more specific adjective, that shows a deeper command of your subject and your language. It's a total game changer. So how do we fix this? Well, the solution is not to go out and memorize a dictionary. I mean, who has time for that? No, it's about understanding the subtle, specific job that each and every word is designed to do. It's all about unlocking that high-definition precision. The core concept, the real secret here, is getting a handle on shades of meaning. Here's the thing. No two words are perfect substitutes. Synonyms exist on a spectrum, and they all carry slight differences in their intensity, their emotional flavor, or just the context where they fit best. Once you can name these shades, you'll start to see them everywhere. So let's look at the first type of precision, intensity. I want you to think of it like a ladder. Happy is on the ground floor. It's a great feeling, for sure. But say you win the lottery, you're going to climb a few rungs up to ecstatic. And for that truly transcendent, once-in-a-lifetime joy, that's euphoric, right at the very top. They all describe happiness, but they live at completely different altitudes. And now for the second type of precision, nuance, or what you could call color. A business can be profitable, and that's a straightforward positive thing. But calling it lucrative adds a different shade. It actually comes from the Latin word for monetary gain, lucre, which can sometimes imply that profit is the only thing that matters, giving it a slightly more cynical feel. This is the kind of subtle distinction that can sharpen your entire message. So now that we've got the theory down, let's put it into practice. We'll look at some specific, high-definition words that you can start using right away in all sorts of different contexts. Describing people is a perfect place to start. Instead of just saying someone is hardworking, ask yourself, how are they hardworking? Are they just diligent and really productive? Well, that's industrious. Do they care deeply about getting every little thing right? That's conscientious. Are they almost obsessive about the details? Then they're meticulous. And if they simply refuse to quit no matter what, that person is tenacious. Each word paints a completely different picture. And the same exact thing goes for situations. A hike isn't just difficult, it's arduous because it drains your energy. A legal argument isn't difficult, it's convoluted because it's all twisted and hard to follow. A financial situation might be precarious, which suggests instability and risk. And a challenge might seem insurmountable, implying it's just impossible to overcome. You see how much clearer the image becomes? This is a perfect example of why context is so important. Big tells us almost nothing, but changing it to global immediately defines the scale of the problem. It affects everyone, everywhere. And then adding international defines the type of solution that's required. In just 2 word changes, the statement moves from a vague observation to a focused call to action. Okay, so this is a crucial point. Just knowing these words isn't enough. If you don't have a way to practice them, they're just going to stay on the page. You need a system to make them a natural part of how you speak and write. This system from IELTS Advantage is so simple and actionable. First, pick 5. Just 5 new words. Don't try to learn the whole dictionary at once. Second, practice in context. Use them in sentences about topics you actually talk about. Third, pressure test them. Try one in a real conversation or in an email. And finally, once it feels natural, you integrate that word and you go find a new one. It's all about quality over quantity. Just as important are the rules of what not to do. Seriously. Don't force words in where they don't fit. It just sounds unnatural. And if you're not 100% sure what a word means, skip it for now. Don't overload your sentences. A few well-placed, powerful words are way more effective than a dozen clunky ones. And please, avoid redundancies. If something is minuscule, it's already tiny. Okay, let's bring all this together. Because when you consciously make an effort to upgrade your vocabulary, something much more profound happens than just sounding more articulate. This right here is the ultimate takeaway. A richer vocabulary gives you a higher resolution lens to see the world through. You start to notice the subtle differences between things simply because you now have the words to define them. You don't just feel sad. You can identify if it's more of a melancholic feeling or a wistful one. You're not just changing your words, you are literally refining your perception of reality. So there you have it. You now have the tools and the framework to shift your language from standard definition to high definition, to make your voice more vivid, more precise, and a whole lot more powerful. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Every single conversation, every email, every thought you have is an act of creation. With a richer, more precise palette of words, what kind of world will you choose to paint?